A small town in Texas is abuzz this morning after dozens of residents reported seeing a large, unidentified flying object.
It seemed to be a huge flying disc.
The now retired pilot is one of 14 men, mainly former government and military officials from 7 different countries, talking about their UFO experiences.
It disappeared in about 10 to 20 seconds.
This conference took place in Washington, and the cast of characters was almost strangely, well, conventional. One of the believers, former governor of Arizona, Fife Symington.
I saw something that defied logic and challenged my reality.
During a visit to Phoenix, Symington described to me what he saw.
If you had been here 10 years ago and standing out here and looking up there at the lights and the view, you would have been astounded. You would have been amazed.
The so-called Phoenix lights were seen by many people in 1997. Skeptics say they were military aircraft or flares, but not the former governor.
It was probably some form of an alien spacecraft.
Lots of agreement on this panel. This retired Iranian Air Force pilot said he saw a UFO while flying.
Major sighting here
on the 13th of March. Weird happenings in the skies over Phoenix recently.
And no one seems to be able to explain what it was.
And now,
suddenly 6 amber orbs in a row, totally equidistant from each other, massive span across, pop up.
People say they saw strange lights. A series of strange bright lights seen over the skies of Arizona gets a lot of people wondering what the heck.
There's going to be a time where they're not going to be able to hide it anymore.
The availability of witnesses was extraordinary.
There are another 10,000 Arizonans who saw the same thing.
Eyewitnesses who saw it say it's like nothing they've ever seen before.
Many investigators call it the largest sighting ever, lasting the longest amount of time, seen by the largest number of people.
The data speaks for itself. Plus, I have photographs that cannot be explained or denied.
He held a news conference after the Phoenix lights to announce the mystery had been solved.
And now I'll ask Officer Stein and his colleagues to escort the accused into the room so that we may all look upon the guilty party. Don't get him too close to me, please.
In the alien costume, the governor's chief of staff.
Now, this just goes to show that you guys are entirely too serious.
UFO enthusiasts were not amused, especially since the governor was believed to have seen nothing. But now he's coming out.
The lights were really brilliant, and it was just fascinating. It was enormous. It just felt otherworldly. You know, in your gut, you could just tell it was otherworldly.
I am lead reporter Megan Connolly. Be ready to see me on a regular basis to bring you some of the most scandalous issues facing us as Americans and residents of the Earth today. Today, we will review the NASA shuttle delay this past week. As you may or may not know, the shuttle's return to Earth was delayed due to debris. This debris has been seen before in the infamous tether footage, and it's not space junk, so what is this debris anyway? Let's find out.
6, 5, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Atlantis, building the station and our future in space.
This spiral, to me, suggests a gravity wave that is stronger than light. This, to me, is proof, in quantum physics, that these UFOs are utilizing very advanced forms of gravity. This UFO UFO here, I measured approximately 2 to 3 miles in diameter against the 12-mile length of the tether. If it's further behind the tether than I think, it could be much larger.
The potential size of these UFOs is clearly mind-boggling. And according to Sarita, so is the advanced technology behind them. Would a piece of space junk pulsate in a regular pattern as we see here?
This spiral, to me, suggests a gravity wave that is stronger than light.
All right, guys, just listen up here. This guy says the Old Testament, written in Hebrew, taught him how to summon UFOs. All right, he says he can also do this on command, and he adds he's been doing it for 25 years, keeping all of it secret until now.
These beings are here. They're here. They're just sitting right up there.
We met up with Prophet Yahweh, seer of Yahweh, at Doolittle Park off Lake Mead. We picked the day, we picked the time, and we picked the location.
Everyone's going to think you're absolutely nuts. Well, I thought I was absolutely nuts.
Until he says he saw UFOs. Over the years, 1,500 of them.
Can we make it 1,501 today? What do you think? I'll try.
He says the voice in his head told him to go public now, so we took him up on his offer, and we scanned the skies. Nothing but a few clouds. When the prophet started praying for a sighting, I wasn't exactly convinced.
I pray, oh Yahweh, that you send a sighting. Straight up. Oh, brother, look at it. There it is.
You can barely see it, a white speck. Then another sighting.
There it is. I got it.
Photojournalist Jonathan Hawkins locks in on it. Let's take a closer look here. It's an orange sphere that appeared out of nowhere. I call the boss with an unexpected change in my story. I can see it clear as day. In fact, it's bright. I can't believe this. It's moving pretty fast.
It's going to Nellis Air Force Base. It wants to be seen.
We called Nellis to see what these things might be. Guess what? They didn't call us back. But this thing started coming back toward us. It's coming toward us now, I think.
What?
See, it's coming up toward us.
Whoa, man! Oh, hallelujah!
Then, a few seconds later, it disappeared.
It's going back up in space.
Prophet Yahweh isn't concerned. He says it'll be back. And I'm still not quite sure what those things were. Now, if I didn't see this for myself, I probably would have just laughed this whole thing off. Prophet Yahweh says, though, this is just the beginning. He says we're going to see a lot more of these things starting next week. And he says one will come down low enough for all of Las Vegas to see. Mike Velostrito, Channel 13 Action News.
With you, James Fox. You helped organize the panel. Why? What are you hoping to accomplish?
We want to establish the fact that the phenomenon is real and it's taking place worldwide. And the reason why we got a panel of 14 high-ranking military and government officials from 7 countries who these guys officially investigated these cases for their governments and military. So it's not like private investigators. These are official military and government people.
But James Fox, to those who say, look, there's no actual evidence, I mean, there's no recovered spacecraft, there's no actual evidence, what do you say?
I say, well, we got photographic, radar confirmation, visual confirmation, landing trace cases. There were imprints in the ground where these things were reportedly landed. You know, and these government and military officials are telling us these things are real. I think we should listen.